Anyway,
I'm pursuing things.
pursuing. I hope
Yeah,
it's not a new
yeah.
woman.
No.
Well,
God no.
welcome to episode nine. Is this 98? God. Welcome to
Is it?
episode 98,
Oh my
folks. Yeah,
God.
it is. Welcome to episode 98 of the Late Invoices show. My
Yeah.
name's Matt Pearson. I'm joined by my co-host Cameron Hall.
Hello.
My
And this
good
episode is a little
friend.
bit delayed, isn't it?
It is, guys. We are recording
Yes.
this on Tuesday. An episode usually comes out on Tuesday. We've had a lot going on in life, so we are giving you an episode this week. It just hasn't come out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So anyway, Cam, how are you? How is things? You need to show me these new tattoos you got. You got some more done yesterday, didn't you?
Oh God. I did, yeah. I've got my
What do you mean? Do you need to
they're on
strip
my
off or something? Oh, right.
they're up on my arms. I got my jumper on.
Fair.
Do you want me to strip? Fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
like, well,
Fine, mate. Fine.
the only reason everyone's tuning in today is to watch you get your kit off.
Yeah, look. I've got my where is it? My James Matthews Create t-shirt on.
Oh, so it's not a London Camera Division. I thought you were going to be like, I've got my London
No.
Camera Division tee on.
No. So I have my
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Look
So
at
I got
that.
this. I got this Arcane one, which I really liked from the TV series. And then I got this comic book one on my arm. It's nothing special, this one. This is just a label. Like, it's on comic books, it has the Comics Code Authority label to, like,
Right.
certify it. And I thought, as a comic book fan, that's pretty cool. So,
So
I got
you're
that
now
as well.
you're now fully
Yeah,
comic
so-
book certified.
Yeah, I can.
Right.
It might not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one on the
no.
back's cool, man. So you got the light,
Yeah.
you've got the clapperboard.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
So,
Very
yeah,
cool.
obviously, they'll look.
Starting to fill up.
Yeah, it's literally last night when I got them, so they need to,
Are you getting any more, or is
I
that
think
it for
that's
a while
it.
now?
That's it for now. That's it for now. I would like more done on my other arm, but
Yeah.
first of all, it's expensive. Well, it can get pretty expensive,
It
and
can.
I mean, nobody ever talks about it with tattoos, but you get it done, and then you've got to spend like the next week, 7 to 10 days, like moisturizing and like upkeep for a bit. And I'm like, I've done it. This is my third time having to do it now because I've had to do it in 3 chunks.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm kind of done with it. Like
Fair.
it's like so much effort.
Fair
But yeah, so I got that done last night,
Mhm.
and I've been live streaming video games all week.
Have you?
I have, yeah, and
What
I've
have you been
done it.
playing?
I've been playing the Spider-Man game, Marvel Spider-Man, and
Which one?
the first one, remastered.
Okay, yeah.
Remastered.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've played that.
But I'm really enjoying it, and I've done it enough to where I've become a Twitch affiliate, so I can earn money from it now. So
What?
I'm like, yeah, so it's been going really well. And I really enjoy it. So I've been doing it. I'm doing it every day for 30 days. So obviously I'm just doing it as a 30-day thing. And then after that, I'll figure out, like where it's at. But I've been streaming every night at 6 p.m. Till 9. And we're on, what is it, day 6 now, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, and obviously I didn't tell anyone or say anything because I just wanted to kind of like, let's see if I can actually just do it for like a few days first. And then,
What? So
I'll
people have
mention it.
actually been watching you?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and also Spider-Man's quite an old game. The first one is at least now, like
Yeah.
came out in 2018. So there's not loads of people watching, but I've got like 10 people watching, or like 20 people sometimes, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or 4, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been going really
so how
good.
do you
And to the
start earning
point,
money from it?
you have to hit like a few milestones to become like an affiliate, and then I think it works a little bit like YouTube, except there's more revenue paths in terms of you have ads playing on your videos, but then you also have people that I think it's like YouTube Premium where you can pay like 20 quid a month to go ad free. But if you only watch one person, you can pay like 5 quid and only have non-ads on their streams. And so there's a few people that are like doing that. And
What, for you?
yeah, and so well, I've only just become affiliated like 2 days ago, but
Yeah.
they have said that like they're gonna watch every stream and they're gonna like when the button appears, they'll subscribe. But yeah, and so you get a portion of that. And so I'm like, damn, I should have really done this years ago. But yeah, so it's been really good. But I do think that it just seems very easy. Like you with video, at least for me, in my opinion, with video, you record it, then you have to edit it, then you have to grade it and sound mix it, and there's a long thing. Whereas with live streaming, you have already kind of like put something out, and then you make social stuff like afterwards. So you just go through your stream, pick out some highlights, and then just upload those, and it's very easy.
Yeah.
You're not like making something and then it's still not out. And I really like that aspect. I like it just, it's all packaged together. I just press record on my OBS. But I'll tell you something, man. My OBS, my open broadcast software, which everyone uses for streaming, I've never had it so dialed in my life, but it's so complicated. Like, how you got to stream in like 1440p, and you stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but then you need to figure out how to record on your computer locally at the same time as well, so that you can edit like your own shit if you wanted to. And it's like, can the PC handle it? And then you're also running a game, so then it's like, can the game run at the proper quality whilst all this other shit's happening? Just a lot of trial and error. So I think it's been about 2 weeks in total where it's been like testing and like changing formats and things like that. But I've been really enjoying it, and I'll be going live tonight as well. Actually, at 6. Yeah.
Good,
So
man. Nice.
yeah.
I will. I don't want to go. I don't want to talk too much about gaming, but if you
No, of
play,
course.
if you play the new Battlefield, I want to have a go on that. So let me know if you end up getting that and playing the new Battlefield. So I've heard it's good.
I think the Battle Royale version of Battlefield is free, right?
Oh.
Battlefield something Relic. Or something
I've seen the PS5 is currently in Black Friday sale, and you don't know the temptation.
Oh my god, mate! I actually forgot that it was Black Friday. I'll have to have a look at it.
Anywho, yeah, Black Friday. The London Camera Division. So the T-shirts we released the third one yesterday, and everything is 20% off, guys, on site, site wide. So if you want to grab yourself something, and you've been meaning to but you haven't yet, go check out LondonCameraDivision.com. Get your on-set merch to wear for your next shoot.
I'll link Matt's stuff in the description below, and I'll also link my live stream.
Yeah, I'll be watching on Cam stream tonight. So
I'll link you to
it. But good, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's good to see that you've found something that you're like, that you're excited about. It feels good, and
Yeah, well, what I like about it as well is that it doesn't feel like a whole other thing. It's like, oh, if you've got like 3 hours in the evening, I can just turn it on and go, and then when it's done, it's done. There's no like overlap of, having to learn an entirely new thing, for example. So it feels quite easy, quite passive, which is nice. And you also come out of it feeling like you've played some video games or something. So you're like,
yeah,
it's not too taxing. But yeah, so that's an update on the adventure I've been on the last 2 weeks. But what about you, man? How's things? How's everything going?
Mate, all good. Had 2 really good shoots last week. We did the job for Samsung, which was really cool. And then we did a shoot for sports shoes and Adidas with some new shoes that are coming out. So had 2 really good campaigns last week, and I've actually got to do some editing after this pod, and then tomorrow. And then me and Yaz are going away tomorrow till Friday, Saturday, so just some time away for her birthday, which I'm really looking forward to, actually, just like really kind of putting the phone down and trying to be present. So
are you making social content whilst you're away? Because last time I think you said that you ended up kind of filming a few things whilst he was away, social content wise. And are you not doing that this time?
I'm not gonna. I want to try and if I can get all my edits done from like the Adidas shoot and the Samsung shoot, if I can get them all boxed off, then tomorrow morning, Yaz has got like a job interview. So I've got a couple of hours to get some work done, and I might just try and make some social content then. So I've got stuff to post, like, while I'm away. So yeah, I might try and do that. But no, I'm going to do my best to avoid it. So yeah. So let's get into the show. I want to talk today about usage, guys. So we put a story up the other day, and we had some questions coming in, and something that kept coming up is usage, and we had a DM as well, and someone said, please, can you go over usage? I think we covered it a long time ago in probably episode 30.
Yeah, we've covered it in bits 20. And bobs, yeah.
But it's good to go over it again with like a fresh mind, probably like a year or so on. And also trying to speak about an experience I had recently, and it was a big brand, without going into too many details, try and give you an idea of what it is. So there's a very big brand. You will have all heard of them. They're worth about $200 million. So like big enough, right? And they wanted to do a shoot, and they offered a usage fee. So we'll get into what usage fee is, kind of break down what usage is, how it's kind of calculated, and we're going to go through it step by step. But they offered a usage fee of £300 for out-of-home usage. Now, for those that don't know, out-of-home usage is like things like billboards, things you'll see on like the London Underground, digital billboards around the city, paper billboards. Like out-of-home is kind of, when it's like those bigger campaigns that you'll see plastered around everywhere. Buses, London Underground, tube stations, bus stops, big digital billboards around the city. That's kind of out-of-home usage. You've got different kinds of usage, things like out-of-home. Then you've got POS, point of sale, which is when it's in stores. You see it. That's at the point of sale. So you see it behind the till. When my work was in the Chelsea store, me and you went, didn't we, Cam? And it's like behind the tills. That's point of sale usage. What are you laughing at that for?
Well, I'm just laughing at the fact that we saw it, and then we went into the Chelsea store, and it was all around there as well, and it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, that's a story for another day. For another day. So that's like point of sale usage. Then you've got like digital, like social and web. So if it's just used on social media, if it's used on website, blah, blah. So different types of usage. But out of home usage,
and also just to say that last one, with the social media, that's usually just part of the project as a default, right? Like if you're supplying images, is it usually just default, or
it depends how you want to price it?
Okay, right. So I won't say then. I'll just
it completely depends how you want to price it. With certain clients, I'll have my rate, and included in that is usage for social and web. Because they're not spending a lot of money. Out of home usage is the most expensive kind of usage in terms of type, because brands, companies spend tens, hundreds of thousands of pounds putting that on billboards around major cities, and that stuff costs, right? So, anywho, so to offer £300 for an out-of-home usage fee is wild, in my opinion. For it to be on like billboards and all that kind of stuff. So it got me talking to, and like I brought this up with another producer I know at an agency, and like they were gobsmacked and this is quite a big advertisement agency, gobsmacked about that fee. And obviously it's a really tricky one, because they think they can charge that because obviously photographers in the past have said yes to that. And it's really hard to sit there and say no one should ever say yes to that, because that photographer might have been in a real spot bother where they really need the money. So, or they might not have negotiated a usage fee before the shoot and they've had to say yes and they've been cornered into it, whatever. But like the issue is that people saying yes to out of home usage fees that are so small like that means that that's not what you should be paid for an out of home usage fee.
Yeah.
And for a brand that size, and then it means that it has a negative effect on everyone else in the industry, because when you do say yes to it, like they think that's okay, and it's not okay.
It makes me think about that Elements and newsletter we were talking about like last week or 2 weeks ago, and they were talking about how a client wants a serious person to like do a project, but they don't have a serious price for it. And it's that same thing where it's like, oh, you want to pay someone 300 quid for like a billboard and out of home usage, but the only person that's going to accept that is an amateur, realistically, or someone who obviously needs the money or whatever. And so it makes the client not seem serious in the project either. And I think, again, my personal opinion is that these things happen in the industry kind of like all the time, but it's like up to you to also not be the one to be like, yeah, I'm going to take that, because the people who will accept that are the people who that like. It's like accepting a bad client, right? It's like the only people that put up with bad clients are people that say yes to them. Whereas if you just say, no, I don't accept that, or my rate is like way higher than that, then you never really see those clients because they're just like kind of below your baseline. And so I think it's more your responsibility to be like, those people are out there. I am not like effing with them. Like they need to kind of like just deal with someone else. Yeah.
And I spoke to another producer, and she was like, the thing is, if you say yes to that, you attract more of that. And
exactly.
that comes back to the newsletter, which is so true, right? So, and if it had been a small startup brand, so context is everything, guys. So if it had been a tiny startup brand that have got no money and they offered £300 for, some out of home usage because they wanted one billboard in London. Different story. This is a $200 million, company. They make a lot of money from these images.
Yeah, they do billboards all the time. They know
Yeah.
exactly what they're talking about. Yeah.
So let's start breaking it down, because I imagine there's some people listening that obviously don't know what the hell is usage. So I've made some notes, but like usage is how, where, and how long for a client can use your images or footage. So, it's separate from your day rate and your shoot fee. So, your day rate and your shoot fee, Cam, will pay for your time and the production that you deliver, right? Your licensing and usage fee is paying for the value of the work being out in the world. So, you're not just charging for taking the photo, you're charging for how much work that photo is going to do for them. So,
yeah, well, I think for the oh wait, go on. What?
I was just going to pull an example out my ass. Like you could shoot a billboard, of, I don't know, Jude Bellingham for Adidas, and it sits in the center of Madrid, like because he plays for Real Madrid, and like so many people seeing that, wearing that boot, like how many sales will, or like all over Europe, how many sales will that convert for Adidas into that boot because Jude Bellingham is in that billboard and you've helped create that.
Well, immediately when you say that though, I immediately want to know, well, how do you work that out? Like if I'm a listener and I've never done usage before, I'm like, I don't know how many people are going to fucking look at that billboard. Like, but there is standard, there is standard things,
And it's not plain sailing. It's really hard. And usage is this really murky kind of, this is just me speaking from my experience. 7 years in the industry, I'm not an expert. I've had many conversations with many producers and people, and this is like, and I've had experiences where I've been screwed over, as you know, Cam, like badly with usage. And I've had good experiences with usage and getting paid correctly for usage fees with good agencies and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying this is gospel, take it with a pinch of salt. This is just my experience. I'm trying to give you guys a bit of insight into like what it is and how it works.
Well, before you get into it, I do want to say that I think it is very much like boundaries, and like it's your pricing, it's your like what you have in your contracts in terms of like how many feedback rounds someone gets. It's kind of the same thing. Like you can not do usage, but in the future, when you start doing usage, you start to realize like it only exists because you decide to implement it. If you don't have usage, then people will just fucking take all of your work and they'll use it as many times as they want. So it is in line with all of these other processes you have where once you know what you're talking about, you start going, I should start charging usage because, oh my God, I've been missing out.
Yeah, because it's, so say like, super first example, like my biggest shoot feast, the most I ever earned from a day's shoot, probably like 90% of that fee was the usage fee, and the other 10% was my day rate. So to give you an example, like that's just to give you an example. So like, I remember when I first, there's a mate of mine, Josh Excel, was like commercial photographer, been in the industry for ages. And I went into his office and I sat with him and his brother because they kind of run this agency and stuff. And he was like, yeah, like, this person just got like 30 grand for that campaign. And I was like, what? Photographers get like 30 grand for a campaign? He was like, yeah, it went on billboards like all over Europe and in America and at every airport and all that kind of stuff. And my eyes were just opened immediately by how much money some of these people were making from their photography. And I didn't realize that was a thing. Like people literally make 40, 50, 60, 70 grand from a shoot. Like, yes, that's the upper echelons and there'll be people maybe making more than that, but like that, to make people aware, that does happen and it does exist. So
it reminds me of Chris Doe, who's like obviously like an industry like veteran, but he was talking about when I think he was 24 or 25, and he was a graphic designer and he made like a title card for, I think it was like Vauxhall or something, for their car advert. He charged them 75 grand just for the title card graphic. And he got that. And in hindsight, it was because it was going on a car advert on TV. But because he knew to say, this is 75k, it probably only took him like, maybe a week or whatever. But it didn't take him 75 grand's worth of days or time to do it,
No. And this is where you can be taken for a ride if you don't know when usage is truly, applicable, right? So because you will get done dirty, like I have been, and so let's break down kind of the main usage levers. So what changes the fee? So firstly, the media, which is kind of where is your work used? Is it organic social only? And by organic social, I mean, say I just post an Instagram post, organic, it goes out into the world, or is it paid ads? So that post then has spend put behind it. A brand could use your photo for a campaign and decide they're going to spend 100 grand on ad spend, and then it's seen by however millions of people. Well, that then changes the usage fee because it's seen by so many more people and drives so many more sales. Is it website only? Is it email or internal usage, which obviously like isn't worth as much as out of home, which is, billboards, bus stops, posters? Is it print? So like magazines, brochures, catalogs, that doesn't tend to be worth anywhere near as much as, out of home. Is it TV, cinema? Price goes up. Like, I don't know, see much about, TVCs, TV commercials, that is. But I know that there is good money with like usage. Like you create a advert and it goes on at Super Bowl halftime. Like,
Oh my
do you know what I
God,
mean? Like
mate.
the ad spend and the money that people are spending, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not too clued up with that world. I've heard a few things, but so the more exposure and kind of the more serious the channel, like usually the higher the fee. So that's when you've got your out of home, you've got your TVCs, like all that kind of stuff is where you'd kind of have more money. So that's kind of the first lever.
You also don't want to be afraid as well to think that, oh, should I be charging this, or oh, should I even be charging for this at all? Because at the end of the day, everybody wants a piece of the pie. Like the Super Bowl, I think charges like 8 million for a 30-second slot now. It used to be 3 million and now it's 8, something like that. Yeah. Obviously, the production companies that are making those adverts are also charging the licensing for it to even go on there in the first place. Like, there's all these other things, and so it's almost, you almost don't want to question yourself as to, should I be charging usage at all? It's like, no, yeah, like you definitely have like a hand in the fight kind of thing. Like everyone else is going to be charging for stuff. Like you might be making a video or you might be making photography, and you're a photographer, and the video guy might be getting fucking usage and you're not. Or it might be vice versa. Like the video guy might be doing it for nothing, and the photographer's getting. Yeah. So
it's the same with
every aspect. Yeah.
It's the same with models. Talking about every aspect. So like if a model is in a global campaign and their photo is on billboards all over Europe, they're also getting usage, and that model that's with that agency will make sure that that's the case and they're protected. Whereas you might be the photographer and you've got no usage fee, and it's like, hold up a minute. So the next lever that I want to talk about is kind of territory. So this also changes the fee. So where is your work being displayed in the sense of the territory? So is it just local? So is that like one city? Is it just London? Is it national? So is it all over the country? Is it multi-country? Is it like every country in Europe? Is it global? So if someone says to you, for example, we want to book you for this shoot, in terms of usage, we're looking at global out-of-home usage. Well, global out-of-home usage is not the same as we might post it on Instagram. Call that out. Like that's the difference between you getting, I don't know, another 10 grand and nothing else. So really big. Yeah. And if you don't know what you're you don't know whether to call that out, that's like you're missing out on money that you technically should be receiving.
Yeah, and if you put yourself in the shoes of, say, the brand or the client, like they are making these decisions for like a result. So, the reason why I'm not just going to only post it on social and I'm going to put it on billboards is because I want X, Y, and Z to happen. Like they're doing it for a reason, like an actual tangible thing. Yeah, yeah. And it's like not that they can't only post it on social, but if they did that, they know that they're probably missing out on something. So by putting it on a billboard, they're like, like I have like this idea of what the billboard would do for me. And it's kind of like, oh, yeah. Like, they're not just doing it because they want to post it somewhere else for bants kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, the next thing is kind of the duration. So how long are they going to use it for? So this is a massive thing that can sway the price by quite a bit. So, are they using it for 3 months? Okay, well, that's not going to be worth as much as them using it for 1 year. Or is it 2 years? Or there's a word that some of you might not know, which is in perpetuality, so like perpetual, which means for good. So they want to buy it outright in perpetuity, for good. So they want
So
to
they can
own
use
that
it as
image.
many. Yeah,
They can use it as many times, wherever they like, for the rest of your life and their life and whoever's life. So, in
Generational.
perpetuity is expensive, like, and that's why you don't just give it away by default for free. If you see the
Yeah.
word in perpetuity, you need to think, right, alarm bells, because that means that it's worth something. And
Yeah,
again, like
they're mentioning it for a reason. Like
yeah,
they know that the value of it, they can probably keep using it and keep,
yeah,
kind of milking that dry.
yeah,
I also want to mention it's probably the same with, your photo assets or video assets. Like you've got your raw footage, you've got your raw files. Like the reason why you don't sell your raw files or your raw footage for nothing is because you know that the client or the brand can in-house make more images from these raw files, or they can make more social cuts, or they can make screenshots from the high-res 8K footage that's been shot. Like, so it's kind of in the same ballpark. It's like, oh, if someone wants this licensing for in perpetuity, then it's like, oh, why do they want to keep using this photo over and over and over again for years? It's like there might be
yeah.
something there. So it's kind of the same thing where there's just other avenues where you go, okay, well, I've got to charge for that. And do you know what? You remind me, we did a shoot for someone a few years ago, and we did it. It was for their Black Friday thing, and it was like, oh yeah, Black Friday, mate. It was on their Black Friday website last year. It's on their Black Friday website again this year. I'm like, fuck, I definitely should have charged usage for that. But at the time, I didn't think of it.
I think I know who that is. I think I
Yeah,
know
oh
who
yeah,
that
yeah.
is.
I would try to burn them on a stake as well now. They ended up being a nightmare client, but anyway, I digress. But yeah, sometimes you'll see your work being reused again, even though at the time it was only supposed to be used for this thing, because it wasn't covered. They didn't know that, oh, we can just use it again next year, and it wasn't discussed. So I
Yeah,
think
needs to be
definitely
discussed.
yeah,
Needs to
yeah,
be
definitely.
discussed.
Otherwise, you're
Um,
only getting paid that one time, right? They're
yeah,
getting multiple times of it, and you're like, I only thought of the
yeah.
first time it went out.
They might make another £1 million in sales with your images to
hmm
advertise their product every year, year on year, and
Especially on Black
you,
Friday. hmm
yeah, and you
hmm
you might not, make anything from that. So it's worth taking this into account. The other thing that's worth taking into account is kind of the audience size and the client type. So is it a tiny local cafe that just want like a poster in the local town? The usage fee to that is going to be next to nothing compared to a massive national chain like Starbucks, or is it a massive sportswear brand that's global, or is it a startup sportswear brand? Like those things are going to really come into, because you're not going to charge a usage fee that's massive to a tiny local cafe or a startup, in my opinion anyway, compared to,
Yeah.
because they just won't have the budget for it. Like it won't be on their radar. They won't have the budget for it. It's not something that they're used to dealing with. And there are agencies as well that aren't used to dealing with usage fees. They're like, what is usage? And it's just like mind blowing. And there are
Mm.
massive advertisement agencies that I work with that are so on it with usage. And they're like, here's the usage. Let us know the price. Yes, no, sweet. And it's all properly taken care of. And it makes such a difference when you work with those, clients. It's like the dream. That's how it should be.
Yeah. This is why I wanted. Go on.
I
Sorry.
was just going to say,
I keep thinking that you'll take it like
I
you're done, and
know.
then I'm jumping in. Go on. Sorry.
I was just saying, like the images, because the images could be used like on an internal training deck, and then that's like a very different usage fee compared to a global campaign. Even though it's the same image, there's a different value depending on who's using it and how many people are seeing it.
Mm.
The entire company might see it on an internal training deck, but they're not making any sales from it. But if it's been used on a global campaign on posters all over Europe, they're making sales from it. But it's the same image.
Yeah.
So all of these things, there's so many things that kind of come into usage. It's hard to give you like a clear answer on you charge this for this. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, I would also say with usage, it is probably a little bit more lenient in terms of maybe this time you charge this much, and then the next time it's the same exact thing, but maybe you charge more, like because there's a little bit of variance. And so when it comes to stuff like this, like Matt's talking about with, internal usage versus like making sales from it, I would almost say that it's, as long as you don't charge nothing, as long as you charge something, you can always correct next time with another client, or maybe if the same client comes back and there's a different thing later on. Like, just as long as you don't do it for free one time and then you start charging for it like a week later, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more forgivability with just the principle of charging for usage in the first place. It doesn't matter how much it is, just as long as you're doing it, it kind of creates that thing of like, you have to pay for usage. Like, it's not
And
just like you get it and that's it.
yeah, and like it's such murky water, guys. So it's really hard to talk about. I've heard stories of, you know, photographers getting like one billboard for a week in Berlin and getting like 10 grand for it. And then there's people that have had their work in all over Europe and they've got like a grand for it instead of, and then like, so it's so like,
You
for like a
you
lot.
basically, it's like air. It's like selling air in a bottle. It's like certain people will be like, yeah, that
it's
is
kind
sick.
of what you can get away with, which is wild, but it's such like a murky kind of topic. Like you need to be paid for usage, but it's kind of like what you can get for it, because it's, you know, and there are agencies that represent photographers that they might just go in like, oh, we'll see what we can get this and go in with a higher number, and if the client says yes, then it's like, okay, cool, because they're a massive brand and a massive agency and they're used to giving out, you know, usage fees like that. Whereas if it's a small agency, that I've worked with small agencies before that are like, whoa, we'd never charge that much for usage. And then I'll check with a mate that works for a big agency that are based like worldwide, and he's like, yeah, we'd be charging that much for usage. And that's like two producers, and it's like different, and it's just, so it's really, really kind of hard, which kind of comes on to like, how is usage actually worked out? Well, you know, you start with your shoot fee, and that is your time, your skill, you know, your everything it does for you to do the production, and then you add your licensing and usage fee on top, and it's basically based off all of the levers that we've spoken about previously. So all of these things factor in to give you kind of a bit of a fee. So like some examples here, and this is also what ChatGPT has come back to me saying as well. So again, take this with a pinch of salt, but I think it's a fairly good guideline. So it's like saying, for a small local brand that's like tiny, and say it's social only for 6 to 12 months, like often usage is rolled into a modest just overall fee. So like that's a great example, because with a lot of brands, I'll just do my rate, and in that rate I've kind of considered that includes usage for social and web, organic social, that is. You know, whereas if it is a kind of, it's a national campaign and it's on website, it's on social, it's on digital ads, and it's for a year, that usage fee starts to become a bit of a clearer extra line, you know. So it's going to be a fee and then a usage fee as well, because it's starting to be a bit more apparent. And then you've got like a global big name brand and they want paid media for multi-year and it's on out of home, and then okay, well that usage fee is starting to look much higher than your rate, your day rate. To give you kind of some examples, you know, and this is a really great analogy that, again, this is not my analogy, ChatGPT has kicked this out. It basically says, if a brand is going to use your images to make hundreds or thousands or millions, it doesn't make sense that you only charge a little day rate for something that's basically doing sales work for them 24/7, which is like a really good way of putting it. Like a brand can make millions based off the images that you've created for them. So it doesn't make sense that you're only charging like a day rate and not a usage fee as well, because that brand might spend millions on advertising it on billboards and in spots and in paid media, and for you to not also be charging to have that licensing is kind of silly. So
well, that also does go into why you pay a proper photographer to do the job, because if you are going to be putting this photo on a billboard and you're going to be selling this product and you're going to have like reputation behind it, then the photo needs to come out good. If you're going to be putting it on a billboard around the world for this like product release or whatever. So obviously it's not really got anything to do with usage, but it's the same fundamentals of the brand pays this because it's it's going to be a lot of work if it goes wrong, or if it's, you know, if a bad photographer does it and then they can't put it on a billboard and then they go, shit, man, like we've got to, you know,
Yeah.
like it all ties together, like kind of the same, again, fundamentals, same foundations.
Well, also a big brand can't be seen to be not paying usage or doing things by the book because then it's bad press for them. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
If it kind of came
yeah.
out that they weren't doing that. There are tools that can help guys. So there are industry calculators. I recommend AOP, which is the Association of Photographers. If you just type in AOP usage calculator, that's got a pretty good online calculator. It'll ask you to put your day rate in, and then there's
We
like a
can link it
bunch of
below as well. Yeah.
yeah, there's a bunch of options where you can click where it's being used and the type of media, and it'll kind of give you a fee, and that's like a pretty decent guide to go off. Um, you can ask ChatGPT guys, but I found it to be way off. Like
Yeah, we both
sometimes
did.
like way too high, and it's like client is never paying that. It can come back with yeah, that's
Mm,
like worth $30,000, and it's like probably be lucky to get £4,000 for it. So talk to peers, talk to like producers. If you've got somewhat a producer, you know, that's also really good. Producers are people that are pretty used to dealing with kind of usage fees, agents as well. Like that's why it's really important to grow your network and stuff, because I've got a bunch of producers that I can speak to at different agencies at different levels that if I have a job coming in, you know, I'm a bit unsure, I can pick up the phone and chat to these people and they'd say, yeah, I would charge that. I've charged something similar for a similar client before, or the same client. So that's why it's really important to kind of build that network. And, you know, also a bit of a gut check. Like, if this image is helping them make millions, does my fee feel absurdly low? And honestly, like, like I say, there's no clear answer, guys. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. It's really hard to pluck a number out of the air, and like using those levers will help you. But the more you start to charge usage and the more you do something, the better you'll get a feeling for it, you know? And the more you
mm,
speak to producers and agents, you'll get a better feeling for what is acceptable and what's not. And sometimes, a lot of the times, what you should be paid, it's never that amount. The client only has like 30% of that for usage. So that's
mm.
better than nothing. And then it's like there's a line where, like I had recently with a client, it's like there's no way I'm accepting that £300 for an out of home usage fee. Um, Again, we've spoken about it on the pod, like almost like a minimum level of engagement, you know.
Mm.
Um,
Hell yeah.
so I hate that I don't have like a just a clear cut answer for you in terms of how you work it out. It's using the levers we spoke about, speaking to people, industry calculators, and like you'll come to kind of a rough idea. And the more you do it, and the more you know, people say, "Yep, that's fine," and you get that signed off. It's like, oh, okay, I know I can get that. And just because you got that with one brand doesn't mean you'll get it with you know another brand. So
Well, it also
um,
it does tie into kind of what the rest of freelancing and running your business is like. How do you know to only give 2 rounds of feedback? How do you know that charging this much probably isn't gonna go well compared to charging this much? Like you know, like everybody is gonna test and push back on you, but the only way you're able to plant your feet is because you've got the experience to be like, I'm not being cheap. You're being cheap. You need to pay this rate. And it's again, it's as you said, like it's the experience. It's just kind of getting a feel for like, oh, this person paid this before, or oh, I've charged this before. Like, I'm just going to charge that again, and this should be my minimum, or you know, like it's just that experience. And I think that's why it's so important as well for what we said earlier about having a usage fee just in general, because like we know like there's agencies that some agencies don't even know, like you know, you've worked with them and then they don't even have usage in their own contracts, and it's like, guys, I need a usage fee for this, and then they're like, oh, right, and it's like, you guys are the agency. How do you not
yeah,
know this?
yeah.
So again, like it's similar to implementing your own processes. If you don't charge usage, then no one will pay you usage. But if you charge usage, then it will be brought up more in conversations and in agreements and stuff like that. So
I
it's
also think
important.
the world we're kind of moving into, usage isn't kind of as big as it used to be.
Oh,
You
it's
know,
definitely
probably
older world.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
definitely
fallen
like
into older
older.
world stuff.
Yeah, it falls into like older world photographer kind of commercial. It doesn't mean it
Unless
shouldn't.
it's like big shit. Unless, like if you're shooting like Michael Jordan, then that's like, you know, like if you're shooting Messi or something. I feel like there is a lot more of that. Everything's done properly. Everything's
Yeah, yeah,
because it's all big names, big brands, big things. But like in general, media's everywhere nowadays.
yeah, and
So
like for a lot of the brands, like you shoot with, and it's just for a lot of the stuff is just for social and web guys. So usage isn't talked about too much. But in terms of like how to handle it, and like so you're avoiding those red flags, coming back to communication is so key. So say I get an email from a potential client, hey Matt, we'd love to hire you for a shoot. Are you available on this date? Blah, blah. And I say, hey guys, I am available. We'd love to hear more about the creative on this shoot, like the creative brief. I'm available on the date. Here's my fee, because they'll usually ask for like fees. Here's my fee. And this is the fee for social and web usage for 1 year. If you need any more usage for that campaign, then that'd be a separate usage fee and we can negotiate that. Usually in that first email, a good agent or producer will email you highlighting what it is, like how much, or no, sorry, not how much, what the usage required is. So they're letting you they're letting you know straight away that it's 1 year, out of home in Europe. And then straight away you can start to give them a price for that and you can work out a price together. And there's been times where, you go in too high, because guys, they're like emailing 3 photographers that they'd like to work with, and they're asking for the price for this usage, and they'll get a price from all 3, and then they'll go with the lowest person. Sometimes, like, there's been time like I've priced myself out of jobs because the usage fee's been too high. So this is the other side of it. It's like you don't want to lose out on a job sometimes because it's like a job you dream of doing. But sometimes you can price yourself out because the other photographer, who they think is also great, is charging £3,000 less with their usage and project fee. So
but I always say this, someone has to be the most expensive. So if I'm going to be the most expensive, I'm going to charge you 100k. What's the difference? If everyone else is charging 3k, I might as well just charge you 100 instead of 10 because I'm still going to be the most expensive. Exactly. But that's why you need to be better than everybody else. And your relationship needs to be better.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there because there's a lot of information that I've kind of gone over, and like I say, guys, this isn't gospel. This is just from my experience over the last kind of 7 years, particularly with photography usage. And I've had good experiences, I've had bad experiences where I've been shafted with usage, and it's something that I feel like is a lot bigger as well. Like overseas in the US, I feel like people are more hot on usage. But in the UK here, smaller brands, even brands that make a lot of money, are just like so oblivious to it, and which is quite worrying. But hopefully, if you guys listening, I hope that's kind of helped. Like I hope if you started this show and you weren't sure about usage, you understand a bit more now, and I've been able to break it down for you a little more. And some of you might be asking, well, is it the same in video? And from what I understand, from what I understand, Cameron, it's not the same, and usage doesn't seem to be as big of a thing. I think when it's like TV commercials and stuff, that's when it seems to come into play.
So that's why I haven't said too much on it, because in the line of work that I was doing, I didn't really charge usage that regularly, but if it was going to be more if we were doing a commercial or if it was on broadcast, then that would make more sense. And again, like what I mentioned about products, like I think usage for products is more worthwhile as well, because you can have it on this year and then next year the same video might still be on the website. And so there's more of like a usage fee. And I know that there is things where like at the end of the year, you might have to send an invoice to a brand or a client and say, oh, hey, if you want usage in 2026, like this is how much it will be, and then they can decide if it's cheaper for them to just shoot some new shoots or whether they'll just want to keep reusing the product, videos and photos and all that stuff. So it is like that, but I would say that a lot of it does fall under what we've already spoke about. It's just kind of translating that over to video with, okay, how long's the video? How long are you going to use it for? Like, what's the value of it? Where's it going? Like, obviously, if it's going on social, it's less, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's going on a product page or if it's going on broadcast, then it's like, okay, like this has because especially when you're putting it on TV, it's slotted, and also it's only on TV for a certain duration. Like it might only be on for Black Friday, for example. So stuff like that is more apparent. But I think for the most part, it is kind of quite translational in terms of the levers that you spoke about. And
I also just want to reiterate, guys, that usage from my experience and where I am at the moment in my career, only really comes into play more so when it's more than it being on social and web. That's when it's like
Yeah,
people
exactly.
charge
Yeah.
a usage fee separately from their shoot fee. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I include it in it. But when it becomes more than social and web, when people want to use your images in stores or on billboards, that's when, on points of sale and like all that kind of stuff, or for paid media and they want to put a lot of ad spend behind it, that's when it becomes more of a thing. So if you find yourself in that situation, that's when this is, kind of gets important. So I just wanted to reiterate that.
I also want to say about if you think about it a little bit, like if you was to sell again, like the raw files or giving people access to like video editing project files, immediately you start thinking about the value of those project files and the value of those raw images. It is kind of the same thing as soon as you think about where this stuff is being used. It's kind of the same thing. You kind of have to weigh up the variables of what's possible and then go from there. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to summarize it, someone reached out to us on Instagram and asked us to summarize and give some key points. So really kind of brief summary. So what is usage? Usage is how, where, and how long for a client can use your images and photos. The main usage levers, things that change the fee, are where it's used. So is it, social, web, paid ads, out of home, print, blah, blah, blah. Where's the territory? So is it local in one city? Is it national? Is it global? Is it in a continent? Is it multi-country? And how long for? Is it 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years? Remember that word, in perpetuity. Is it perpetual? Is it forever? And then, think about the client. Is it a small local brand? That's going to be a very different fee to a multi-global, sports brand that's worth billions of dollars. So
price the client as well as the work,
Yeah. So these are things that all kind of take into consideration to help you come up with a fee. Use the AOP calculator, industry calculators, grow your network, speak to producers, speak to agents. They will be able to help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. What I was going to actually say is, things that actually I did touch on it, didn't I? So in terms of how to handle it, when someone reaches out to you, making it very clear that this is your fee and this is your usage fee, and stating clearly in an email if there is any other usage you would like, in terms of like, if it's out of home, billboard, etc. And I give that example. If you're looking to use the images for out of home POS, then that needs to be a separate fee that's negotiated. And I make that very clear in the email. So make things super clear for people, because you might be working with a new producer that's like, oh, we do actually want to use them in store. And they haven't realized that they need to, agree a usage fee with you on that.
I would say that's almost how that happens a lot of the times, where if usage doesn't end up getting discussed, it's because they didn't realize they had to mention that to you. So it's good for you to also bring it up and be like, if it's not on, if it's going outside of social, just letting you know that
good summary there. Hopefully you guys, found that useful. Before we finish, listener's question. We said we'd introduce this, so I'm going to rattle off quite a fun one, Cameron. So someone messaged in saying, what's the strangest thing you've been paid in or offered instead of money in your career? I know mine.
Oh God, I think I'm gonna have to think about this.
I was paid in food.
I don't think there's anything. Food.
Remember? Yeah. What's the brand called? The food delivery service. So I used to do a shoot for them every month, and I would get a month's worth of. Yeah, I can't remember the name.
Okay. No, yeah, but it was a meal prep.
It was like a meal prep, like kind of healthy soup, like, and
they
food
were pretty nice as well.
Oh, I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, when I was living in London, and I would do one shoot a month, and they would give me a month's worth of food. So I'd have like breakfast and lunch, or was it like breakfast and dinner or whatever, and 5 days a week, and they would deliver it fresh to my door every morning. And that lasted for quite a few months. So I got pretty lean because obviously it was very healthy. And it was great just having food sorted for me. So that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever been paid in, is food. And the lads that I live with loved it, because if I went away for a few days, they would just have this food in the house that all the lads could eat it. So that's probably the weirdest thing. What about you?
The only thing that comes to mind is when I did a few shoots for like Gymshark athletes, but not for obviously Gymshark as a brand, but more so for the athletes themselves and just capturing their social content. I got like 2 or 3 boxes of Grenade protein bars, and I was like, That was pretty hefty because it was full, like, the boxes, but like three of them. And those protein bars can be pretty spenny.
Yeah.
And I had like three of it. I had it was like the light blue packet.
The
I
white
can't remember.
chocolate.
Yeah, it was like white. And I was like, oh
yeah.
my God, like, it was great. And then obviously once then we ran out and I was like,
Highly
I need to do
processed,
some more
though.
athlete.
Highly processed.
Yeah. But
no,
other
good
than that,
question.
not super, there was no,
Well, that's fun.
no.
Food is fun. We all need food, so
I feel like in London especially.
yeah,
You
food's
know.
expensive. Anywho, thank you guys for tuning.
No, hold on. I want
Go
to
on.
point the question back at the listeners. If anybody's had any
Some weird-
payments other than then definitely let us know.
Let us know. And please keep firing in those questions, guys. We want to hear funny, tell us about a client story. We can discuss it. We'll keep you anonymous. Send us a message. Any questions? Fun. The more fun, the better. We would love to answer them on the show. So keep those coming in, and we'll do it at the end of every session. But yeah, guys, we hope you're having an amazing week wherever you are in the world. We appreciate you tuning in and listening as always. We hope today's show kind of gave you some insight, help you learn something. It's good for us as well to just kind of go break that down again and go through it. So we really appreciate it, and we hope you have a great end to the week, and we'll see you in the next one. Hey Cam, number 99. Okay. It might be a Christmas special coming soon. Don't know when. Me and you need to have a chat about that.
Need to get those Christmas hats, mate.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, thanks guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Bye guys.